This is a review for the iRobot Roomba 694. The robot's airflow was measured at 9 CFM. Its suction was measured at 0.06 kPa. In our carpet stress test, the 694 picked up all debris types very well. Like other Roombas, the 694 has 2 brush rolls instead of 1. The extra brush roll increases surface agitation at the cost of greater surface area over the brush roll compartment. This greater surface area results in lower measured airflow and suction over the compartment, according to our testing. But this is made up for, at least in this test, with the extra surface agitation provided by the extra brush roll. The 694 was a top performer in our carpet stress test among all of the random pathing robot vacuums we've tested so far. This was not the case, however, in our carpet deep clean test. The 694 picked up only 4 grams of debris after 3 passes over an area of carpet embedded with 30 grams of fine debris in this test. In our hard floor stress test, the 694 once again picked up surface level debris very well. Here the robot relies heavily on its side brush to pull debris into its direct cleaning path, and we saw no issues with this process with the 694 in this test. The 694 also performed very well cleaning edges. It was highly effective pulling debris away from edges when moving close and parallel to them. It also does a circular movement against edges, which is highly effective for pulling especially stubborn debris away from them and into the more accessible parts of the room. The 694 did not perform well in our robot vacuum crevice test. It also doesn't have any higher suction settings for us to have tried using in this test. It only has one suction setting, its default suction setting. In our human hair pickup test, the 694 picked up all the hair, but most of that hair wasn't pulled into its dustbin. 70 to 90% of the hair it picked up tangled around its side brush and brush rolls and had to be cleaned off manually. Though it was much easier to pull hair off of its brush rolls than it was to pull it off of the brush rolls of most other robot vacuums we tested. Like many other Roombas we tested, this 694 did not perform very well in our pet hair pickup test. It repeatedly ran right over tufts of hair without properly pulling them into its brush roll compartment. And even when it looked like it picked up all of the tufts, flipping over the robot revealed that several tufts were still stuck underneath it. We tested the robot's cleaning efficiency and coverage in 2 different environments, an empty room and a clutter room. In our empty room testing, we see its random pathing demonstrated very well. Note how the robot gets good, even coverage across the whole room. The same cannot be said for many other random pathing robots we tested. In our clutter room testing, we again see a fairly random cleaning pattern, but here we also see how the robot navigates around different types of obstacles. In this first trial, the robot gets good redundant coverage across most of the room, but neglects this area between the bottom of the rectangular container and the chair frame. This is corrected in the second trial, in which the robot gets much better, more even coverage across the whole room. In both trials, the robot does move certain obstacles quite a bit as it cleans around them, though this was fairly standard behavior for all of the random pathing robots we tested. Other important specifications and test results we considered for this review are summarized here. Note especially that the 694 does feature very basic app control, and while no boundary accessories are included with the 694, it is compatible with iRobot virtual wall barriers, which are sold separately from the vacuum itself. Also note the 694's runtime, bin volume, and noise output, and how those specifications and test results compare to the average for all of the random pathing robots we've tested so far. Lastly, note the robot's diameter and height. These dimensions make the 694 an average size robot vacuum. Moving on to what we like and dislike about this vacuum, first let's talk about what we like. The 694 picks up surface level debris on both carpet and hard floors very well. It also picks up edge debris very well. We also like the fact that it's easy to pull hair off of its brush rolls, and that it gets good even coverage even in cluttered environments. Lastly, we also like its virtual wall barrier compatibility. Moving on to what we dislike about the 694, its lackluster carpet deep cleaning performance was disappointing, and so was its performance in our pet hair pickup testing. This robot definitely struggles picking up tufts of shorter hair on hard surfaces. We also don't like the 694's dustbin size. Its dustbin has half the volume of the dustbins you find on its biggest competitors, that being Eufy random pathing robots. Another problem area is noise output. The 694 only has one suction setting, and it's considerably louder than the equivalent suction setting on competitors like Eufy's. In terms of general recommendations, the 694 is not a bad robot vacuum by any means. Yes, it does have some downsides, but so does every other random pathing robot we tested. We would only not recommend the 694 if you needed to pick up pet hair on hard surfaces. Otherwise, for most other applications, it can be a great option, especially if you're looking to buy a more budget-friendly robot vacuum. See the description of this video for a link to buy the 694 and for a link to the latest updated list of all of the robot vacuums we recommend. And thank you for watching.